And we are live finally. Sorry for some delays. I have some technical issues. This is the first time I'm streaming, multi-streaming on YouTube and LinkedIn. Before I enter in the topic, please chat, let me know if you can hear me properly. Now I will try to figure out where to see the chat. If you can see me, if you can hear me, please write hello, write where are you listening or watching from. And then we will get right into our live today. Uh, So I think that we are for sure streaming on YouTube. I can see that. Let me see if I'm live on LinkedIn. I should be live also on LinkedIn. I will try to see both chats from the respective channels because now I don't have a single chat. Yes, we are live. We are starting right now. This is episode 5 already. Hi from Pakistan. Welcome, Mohammed. Hello, Anjay. Welcome to this live. What are we going to do today? We're going to build an annotation tool out completely from scratch. This is a tool for developers for building computer vision programs to detect and identify segment objects. Why do we need this? We need an annotation tool to annotate whatever we want to identify. Let's say if we want to identify cars on a road, or if we want to identify specific objects for our project, could be on a conveyor belt if it's for manufacturing, to identify specific object or specific defects, or anything that you want to identify. To get the maximum accuracy, you need to take thousands of images, draw a bounding box manually on each of them, and then using this data you can create your own model. With this model you can then, the model will automatically identify these objects later. And so now there are tools online that can do this. We have many of them. We have CVAT. This is one example of CVAT. It's an open source tool that you find online. We have RoboFlow, it's one now of the most popular. We have like some other open source, Make Sense. We have Label Studio, V7 Labs, and so on. What I found in the software is the lack of simplicity. Most of them, like CVAT, it's quite, like they have open source, you can install it on your machine, but it's quite hard to use. And other ones like RoboFlow, they're only cloud-based. And so I want to create a software that can do this right on your machine, no matter your level, no matter your level of experience. And I want this tool that will run also automatically for you to make automatic annotations. This is now the software that we have at the moment. This is only episode 5, but we built quite a lot in the meantime. Like we have quite a huge progress with our software, and it can pretty much already work for the annotation. We need just to integrate the training and few other things. Chat, whenever you have questions, please try to be on topic, of course, but I'm open to reply to general questions that you have, so feel free to share any thoughts that you have along the way. Now, before entering into the topic, I want to see how we can, so I want to test this one live. So what I have some data set now about tomato that I want to try. So I'm going to bring here the images of tomato. Now, I don't know how many images I have. Probably it's loading, so I have quite a big data set. Yes, it's loading the images. And then, I'm not sure I can load the labels as well. So let's try this. So we're going to draw label tomato. So let me remove this person right here. We close, tomato, like this, plus, and then we add tomato, and then tomato. So that's how our software works. We can do the annotation, then we go to the next image. We can annotate here wherever we find tomatoes, like this one. Hello from Taiwan. Welcome, Team Liu, to the chat. Sorry for now, I will be a bit slow understanding the chat. I'm trying to, so first time I'm multi-streaming and my chat display, it's not great. Probably around middle of the live, I will take some time to chill, and I will also focus to improve reading the chats from both parts. So we're talking here about image annotation. That's the status of our software right now. So this is the software that we did in just 5 episodes. Can you imagine how fast we can build a software nowadays? Let's see, we can draw polygons. So to draw with the polygons as well. I'm not sure if we can import automatically labels. Also, I will try now to import some labels. So we try to, I don't see anything to import here. Probably we can only import the dataset at the beginning, but we cannot import it now. So my first project, new project, training augmentation. Yeah, there should be some few things to work on with importing. We need to improve a bit of the settings and a bit of the functionalities. I will start now working on this, and later we can integrate some more important features. So I want now also to be able, since I have already a data set, you might have already your own data set, you don't need now to annotate it. I want to try to implement the import of a data set right here. How are we going to do this? We're going to build our software using completely vibe coding. So we're going to use the AI. Here I have on the right side, I have a doc where I can write to the AI. This is just for reference. This is PyCharm that I'm using at the moment with GitHub Copilot. And I'm using Cloud Opus 4.5. So with GitHub Copilot, you can choose many different models. And my favorite so far is Cloud Opus 4.5. It takes many more credits than the rest of the model, but it's much better. So like, it's better to go with a good model from the beginning because it writes better code, better structure already, and so on. So let's now go with this. And now I want to make something to import our data set. Since here we don't have anything to import our data set, let me try this. We have nothing to import our dataset. Let's see also on, so this is Figma. I use Figma to take some reference for the UI. Figma is great for me to have a mockup, prototype the UI, and then we take the UI from Figma and then we replicate that on our software with Python. Here you see from Figma, we have something also about importing the dataset. So here we don't have. I want to add the option to import the dataset somewhere on the left after save project. So now let's go right away with the AI. I want to add the option to import the dataset. The button should be on the right side of a save project. I want to be able to import dataset, images, only annotations, or both at the same time. So we didn't give any specific explanation here. We keep it very general. because ideally it will take the context of the entire project and should be able already to understand what to do with that. In the meantime that we have this chat, I'm going to play around a bit with my streaming software, because now for me it's important to understand. So today it's a bit of experimental life with the streaming. It's first time that I stream multi-platform, so I expect some problems like I'm having already. And it will take me some time also to understand what's going on. Okay, I found like the chat, somehow multi-chat. Let me try hi chat. Let me try to write from here. It's only connecting on YouTube somehow. That's the nice of being live, to try and fix in the same time. Okay, I see that on YouTube my chat is working. I don't see my chat on LinkedIn somehow. I don't know if on LinkedIn we can have a chat as well. Chat settings, compact mode, ambient stream. I don't know about LinkedIn, not sure. I've never worked on a streaming on LinkedIn. I rarely watch streaming on LinkedIn. In the meantime, our Copilot added already 178 line, which is great. So if you're coming now, let me refresh a bit what we are doing right now, because so far I'm trying mostly to set up everything with the new stream. We're working on a tool for developers to train your own model in the easiest way. So no matter your level of experience, I want you to be able to create and train your own model to identify and detect any object. Like similar software that we have online, RoboFlow, CVAT, 7Labs, V7 Labs, Make Sense, Label Studio, all of these, each one of them, they have some pros and cons. I want to make a very simple to use software for developers that you can install with one click on your machine, so that you can have everything locally. And at the same time, I want to integrate the feature that the best software have, like RoboFlow has the features to auto-annotate the labels. This means that if you have common objects, the annotation will be very, very fast. You can upload your big data set of images, which can have also thousands of images, and we will use the auto-annotation feature to very fast auto-annotate these ones. It means that the software will try already to, without you drawing the labels manually, will try to auto-annotate them, because we have like algorithms like SAM3 from meta segment, anything that they can already do this, because they have been trained on million and million of images. And that's why we have nowadays this possibility of auto-annotate. I'm thinking that at some point it would be nice also to add some sort of automatic annotations also for other features, also for elements that are not there and that SAM3 cannot detect. For example, if you have a data set of some specific defects on your data set that are not common objects, like there is no algorithm that can know that. Some auto annotation in a way that you annotate 10, 20 images, and then also from that the software already understand what you want to detect and will let's say be your assistant, giving suggestion on what will be the annotations. Continue. So we reach the limit here. Continue. Yeah, today it's not a great day with the lack of with the lack of our technical settings. Continue. Here we're getting so many. Oh, you reached the rate limit. Please try again. Let me see on GitHub if I reached some rate limit on GitHub. I don't think I reached that. Copilot settings. So premium request 0.2%. So this is completely reset, and I have the chance to, yeah. So it's just some technical setting, technical error that we are getting from GitHub Copilot. So we are going to allow this. Here, Tawan, I just about to leave work. The live stream started really early today. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm trying different times with the live stream. So far it looks that this time it's not probably great. Everyone is probably busy. I'm curious. What time is it now in Taiwan? Ah, okay, it's 6:45. Okay, good to know. I will try different times for the stream. For me it's 11:49 in the morning, so I'm quite a few hours behind. The idea is to stream in different hours, so I'm going to stream morning my time zone some of the days. Some of the days I'm going to stream only afternoon, and some days I might stream morning and afternoon if it's if I want to move faster on some project. And sometimes I might try even to stream evening. I will see. I'm happy to experiment with different time zones. Okay, now we should be able to import the dataset. So let's do that. Here we have our software. Now we want to try to import the dataset. We have, let's say, images only. How do we select that? Let's say import. Okay, now we select the images. Let me now get the dataset. Here you have the dataset right here. You have lay images, select folder. And let's see. Okay, we have imported 1790 images. Great. Let's now try to import also the annotations only. Annotations only. So format, the format is YOLO format. We're going to import. We have labels, select, import the 0 images with annotations and 1 classes. So it doesn't really understand this specific YOLO format. So I need to work a bit on this, because YOLO format, it's this one. So let me give you an understanding of the YOLO format. The YOLO format works like this. We have the annotation. Let me zoom this a bit. So we have one image. For each image we have a class. Let's say class 0. In this case we have only tomato, so class 0 will be associated with the tomato. Then we have 4 numbers. First 2 will tell the location. So this is the X position of the object in the image. This is the Y position. This is the X, the width, horizontal width of the annotation, and this is the vertical width, the height of the annotation. So for each image we need numbers like this. So if I draw this, okay, this is, let me remove the classes person. So I'm going to put the class tomato here like this. So if I draw this like this one in this moment, tomato, so for this we'll have a line like this. So we'll have the tomato is, we have only one class, class 0, its position here, Y position, width and height. Then let's say that I also add a new class, leave, not leave, leave, leave. Let's say now I select this one right here, leaf. So the leaf is the second class in the order, so will be class 1, and then we will add the position, I don't know, the number here associated with the position of the element. So this is the YOLO, the old YOLO form. Since V8, they made it a bit more elaborated. So I want to be able to have as much freedom as possible bringing the annotation. So let me ask the Copilot to do something about this specifically. I want to be able to import. Okay, so the import is working. So let me commit the change right here. Added import button for annotation. We can import images and labels like this. We commit and push the change. Now we want to improve a bit the importing of this. So I want to be able to import YOLO format even if I only have txt files and no label and no YAML or labels.txt. So in that case, I want to be able to associate the class name to the number when I'm loading them. So let's now the agent, let's do the rest of the work in this case. Chat, if you're watching now, have you ever done any annotation, any training? Let me know. This is something that you might find very useful. If you're working with any type of project, object detection, if you want to detect, segmentation, if you want to segment objects, classification, if you want to classify objects. So it's creating a class YOLO importer. Everything seems on point at the moment. Main window. Now this software is going to save so much time. An error occurred generating a response. What a surprise. Continue. So I hope that Copilot will work on this and fix these issues as soon as possible. So I was saying this software is going to save so much time. And I'm thinking to bring two versions of these two versions. A free version where you can label the objects maybe with some limitation for the auto annotation. I will have to test the settings for auto annotation and see also what specs do you need, because auto annotation requires quite a powerful machine to work properly. Can't hear you now. Let me see what's going on here. I think it should be okay. Like from my side, I'm testing and it works okay. Let me know, team, if the problem is solved. But I just double check now from my side. It looks that the audio is okay. Keep the changes. Let's here continue. Yeah, I was saying I'm thinking about bringing two versions, one free version of this software, so access to everyone, very easy to install, very easy to run, and one more advanced version that will include auto annotation to automatically annotate the dataset. It will include training advanced features. Probably at some point I will bring cloud training so that you don't even need your GPU. So this will be most likely on a second version. If you are in the iVision Academy, I'm going to give you full access to the full version. So for members of my community, you can expect to have this free full access to this software. This is, I want the community to have this. That's where I got the idea to build such software, because it's needed. I see that many members need some such software, and auto annotation is one of the part that takes you a lot of time. And often for companies, if you're working in a company, you might have the limitations that you cannot upload this to the cloud for bureaucracy purposes and so on. So with this software, you will have the chance to do everything locally. So this will remove a lot of bureaucracy, and you will be more safe and peaceful on this side uh, from this point of view. Okay, let's allow here. In this moment, we are improving how we import the dataset. My idea is that we can import any type of dataset, whether it's YOLO format, COCO format. There was no sound. Am I the only one that have this problem? Team, I think that sound is working. Sound is working, at least from my side. So let me reply to you. Sound is working. Allow. Yeah, we will. I want to make this as simple as possible to import the dataset. Now I have a dataset, tomato dataset, where I have 1,700 tomatoes. I downloaded this dataset from some website online, and I want to be able to import this dataset right now. So let's allow everything here for the changes. User internet speak colors from each class. Okay, let's see how it works. What resources will you recommend? Okay, the tanker. What resource will you recommend researching a new YOLO? If I'm new to YOLO, but I need to make a math equations extraction tool with YOLO, I'm quite confused about licensing and training, etc. So I also know models have their own strengths and weakness, which also is confusing to me coming in. What do you mean? I'm curious what you mean with math equation extraction tools with YOLO. So you say you are confused about licensing and training. Licensing, there are different licenses version for YOLO. You need to, when you look for YOLO, let's say YOLO GitHub, I don't know now what will show up. The first one that shows up is Ultralytics, but there are also other YOLO versions. The licensing, it's here in the main file, I mean in the main repository. So I think you might be familiar with GitHub. You see here the license. And YOLO, it's built by, at least the first version of YOLO was created by researchers, and you find free licenses, MIT license, that allow you to do pretty much everything. You find Apache 2 licenses. If you use the most popular one, now there is company Ultralytics, which is releasing YOLO. So it's now YOLO is associated mostly with the Ultralytic company because it's the one that it's developing this and making YOLO very popular. You need to stick with this license right here if you're talking about license. AGPL3, this means that you need to open source the code, and you always need to have this license. So whatever changes you make, you need to open source, keep the code open source. You cannot close the source and sell it, Ultralytics, unless you buy their enterprise license. So you should see what they have in their own website. If you use YOLO for other sources, mostly from researchers, now here we have YOLO V Plus for object detection. This must be some new version. We have YOLO V10. Now I don't remember, there were so many new versions, YOLO V9. You can find that on GitHub, like MIT free licenses that give you pretty much the possibility to to do anything with the code and be free with the license. At least this is my most understanding of licenses. So I'm not a big expert about this. That's my understanding. So of course, if you close the source code, if you're making a commercial project, you need to be careful about this. And now in this case, I'm not going to use the YOLO model for streaming, not from Ultralytics, since uh, I have a closed source for this at the moment. I will use most likely one of the new models like Red that from some distribution that have like free license. So this is my suggestion, like strengths and weaknesses. The strengths and weaknesses, there are strengths and weaknesses in different models. You might have models that are faster, models that are more precise, but mostly you have to test them. So you can see online and find benchmarks about these models. Now they are the latest version of YOLO, and the other models that are not YOLO, like Red Dead, they have similar benchmarks. Hi Zebulon, welcome to the live today. As you see, we're streaming on a bit different times than usual. I'm trying a different new time to stream morning and evening and afternoon. So yeah, I was saying about this, and Tanker, keep in mind that there is such a fast evolution of this model that what you will use now might not be the best model in 2 months or tomorrow even. So there is quite an evolution, and when you build such software, you need to also be ready to maintain this and to work this, if not daily, at least every month, to make the necessary updates. So that's what I'm going to aim for with such software. And yeah, now let's try if everything is working. We are going to import the dataset. Let's try it like this. I'm going to move the images. So I have images. I move it right here. Okay, we have the images, 895. Why only 895? Okay, because we have 895. Let me now import. I want to import the annotations, YOLO format. I want to annotations only, import. Let me take this folder, label, select folder. Really cool. Like you see now, I don't have the class. So what is class 0? Class 0 is tomato. We confirm the mapping. We don't see it. Let's see what's going on. Okay, it's somehow working. We can import, but we don't see it. Oh, let's commit the changes, because we can see that some part of this is working correctly. So I want to, okay, we can map annotation when label txt doesn't exist. So we commit and push the changes. Let's push the changes. But somehow, after the labeling, we map the mapping works well, but I can't see the annotations imported in the images. There are no bounding boxes. So let's go again like this. Okay, it seems that there is an issue with this, so at least it's spotting the issue. Annotation apart with 0 dimension, they become invalid. Some refresh for who is just joining now the live. This is a live stream where we're building an annotation tool completely from scratch. Think something like RoboFlow, CVAT, Label Studio, makes sense. What else? Labelbox, V7 Labs. But this software is going to be very easy to install, and it's going to run on your machine. There's going to be a free version that you can have access to, and you will be, once it's released, you will be able to download and install this on your machine, whether it's Windows, Linux, or Mac. In this free version, you will be able to make the annotations very easily. And then there will be a more advanced version, like paid version, that you can have access to. It's paid version for everyone except members in my community, the AI Vision Academy. If you're in the AI Vision Academy, you will get full access of this software once it is released. So we'll make a post in the AI Vision Academy when it's released. And believe me, this is going to be huge. This software is going to save you a huge time. If you're building, if you want to detect things, if you want to segment things, this will be a game changer. And most important, you can use this locally on your machine. That's what I'm aiming now. Bring the best of the online tools that they can do a great job, but bring these locally. And I see this possible because the technology is evolving so fast and the models are becoming more and more efficient. So with the hardware that we have now, the more we go ahead with time, the more there is efficiency and the more we can achieve with the same hardware. So if we want to do more now, to run the larger models, to have more speed, we need to upgrade our hardware. But as the time goes, with the efficiency, we can already achieve more even without upgrading our hardware. And I saw this in time in the last few years, since I'm working on this, I saw quite a huge evolution. Now this reach limit continue. Now already in the 5th episode, we have a good base of this software working. I just want to make sure now, before integrating all the features for training, for automatic annotation, I want to make sure that everything will work properly. And that we have a very simple user interface, simple user experience when working with this. Because the one that we see, many of them, especially the old ones like CVAT, at least for my understanding and for how I play with that, I wasn't happy at all. And it's a bit developer, it's a bit rough the way it works. So it's, let's say, developer friendly, but not friendly for any user. Okay, we should have things working. Let's now try to run this one. And let's now import our dataset. So we import images. Let's go right here. We have images. Now let me try moving the labels. Not sure if I can drag and import the labels like this. Probably not. Instead, let's try import dataset. Import only annotations. Import YOLO format. Import. Here, let's paste the label folder and select folder. Now, there is no name for our label, so I say tomato. Confirm mapping. Import 0 images and 1 new classes. What's going on? So, not working here. Something is definitely off. Something is definitely not working. Let me close and let's try to import the dataset in a different way. So import dataset, import images only. Images only, so import. Now let's select the images. I have a folder with 895 images. I don't know why it says 1000. So it looks like imported the annotation as well, but it didn't. Now let's import annotations only, YOLO format, import. We go on the labels, select folder, not classes txt or data yml found, so we have to select we have to type the name of the class tomato, like this, confirm mapping. So it's not working. I think that's the structure it expects here is a bit different. We see images and labels. Haha. That's why. Let's try. Let's try both. Let's try both. Just tomato. Now it's asking annotation folder. So let's try both. YOLO. First select image folder images. Now select labels folder labels. 1790 images. Tomato. Confirm mapping. 0. It's not working. Annotations 0. So import annotation 0. The annotations are into the annotation are a list of files.txt. So let's provide this. Let's see if this solves our problem. Let me also look at the main window flow to understand what paths are being passed. So now we're giving a bit of generic instructions. If this is not able to solve it, then we'll need to dive deeper into the problem. Now I'm leaving the AI quite some freedom on this. Okay, now we should be able to try it again. So let me close this one. Okay, let's try to import both annotation in YOLO format. We import first the image folder, tomato images, select folder, and then we import the labels folder, select, imported images, then tomato, confirm mapping, imported 0 images with annotation and 1 new classes. So let's close this one, let's keep all. So this was mostly just to debug the problem. So now we are debugging the problem why we cannot import annotations. not exactly. Let's keep all the changes. If labels file are found, if image stems are matching label stems, if annotation are being parsed correctly. Let's try running this again. So I don't think we solved the problem at all. So import dataset, both. So we select first images, and then we select labels. Oh, my mistake. I had to select the YOLO format, not the JSON format. So let's go again with images. And then let's go again with labels. Select folder. Imported 1790 images. Let's say class tomato. Let's confirm the mapping, and nothing was imported still. I'm importing only detections. It says labels imported 0. I don't know if I can give some reference. So I'm giving a list of text. I'm parsing a list of text files with same name of the image and this inside the label. So you need to associate that with the same image name that you have. And now that I'm doing this, it comes to my mind how important is that you have some understanding and background into the topic you're working on, so that you have domain knowledge. Because what we see, it's vibe coding, everyone can do anything with just asking, giving prompts. But the real struggle happens when you start having problems to debug. And if you have no clue, you wouldn't even know what to ask and how to dive deeper into the problem. Since I know this quite well, I'm giving very specific directions to solve this problem. So let's say continue. So you need to know how the annotation works, what are the formats, and everything related to move forward in this specific case. Here it seems quite off topic, to be honest, the Copilot what's going. So after, if he doesn't solve the problem now, I will close this Copilot chat and try to dive deeper and step by step. I will have to debug it more by myself. So keep. I see the logic error. The condition makes 10 values go the standard format branch, which treats it as a polygon. Okay, I see. Now it's only loading polygon annotations and not bounding boxes annotations. That also, when we're working on a on a software that can annotate pretty much everything, bounding boxes, polygon. Now I didn't specify which one it was. I want ideally to make this as universal, as adaptable as possible, that understand exactly what you want to do, what type of annotation you are giving. So now it's integrated bounding boxes. It should work properly. Okay, let's now try this again. Let's see if we are fixing the problems that we currently have. So I'm going to close this. Let's run main. Let's import the dataset. We choose YOLO format, annotations, both annotations and images. Let's import, right, I need to paste the image. Okay, tomato folder. First, select images folder, select, and then select labels folder. We select. Imported 1790 images, class tomato, confirm mapping. Imported 0 images with 0 annotations. Something still not working. So let's open a new chat. YOLO, the annotation. So let's see. Your format, YOLO format. The importer is not working correctly. Let me see if I add the label.txt. So right here I add text document classes.txt. I will try also label.txt, where I type the name of the annotation that I have. A tomato. So let's save this one and let's try now if with this mapping things work. So import dataset. We say both YOLO format. We import first the images, select, and then we import labels, select. Okay, it automatically found the label tomato because I have classes txt. Okay, the annotation importer is not working correctly. It doesn't import classes. It doesn't import annotations. YOLO format. So it's not importing annotation into the YOLO format. For object detection, it says imported 0. So let's try to be more specific and targeted to the specific file to see if we can now import the annotations. Chat, let me know if you are there. I think that Monday morning it's not the best time for streaming. I think everyone is extra busy with work as it's the day where there is the least interaction. So I will have to try different times. Tuesday afternoon probably. Maybe also Monday afternoon. Today, unfortunately, I have something to do in the afternoon. I cannot stream in the afternoon. That's why I'm streaming right now. Chat, let me know what's your favorite time for the streaming. Now, in the meantime, I'm debugging some errors. I cannot import the annotation somehow. So we have the software is working very decently so far, but I cannot import the annotation. So if we have already the annotations done, we need to be able to import them. And this is not working at the moment. So I'm debugging this. The class list is built by iterating through sorted keys. When classes come from classes txt or data OML, they are ordered correctly. Okay, that we know already. Chat, in the meantime, let me refresh if you're new to the live what we're doing. Today we're building an AI vision tool for developers completely from scratch. This is a tool for annotating and creating your own AI model to detect and segment objects. Think something like RoboFlow, CVAT, Make Sense, Label Studio. So all this software right here, they are for image annotation. And I'm making something like this, but I want to take the best of them and make it working on your local machine. So now the best software like V7 Labs, RoboFlow are similar, they only run locally, they only run in the cloud. And one of the requests that I got, especially from developers working for companies, where there is some concern about data, not concern that data will be not safe with the big companies, but also it's also the bureaucracy that this process adds if you need to send data outside. So many companies want to do this locally, and locally we can do it. There are tools for that, but these tools are very limited, not very easy to use, not very well maintained. There are some of them, they do too much, and I want to focus on the minimum possible, especially for a single developer or very small teams that need speed. And I want to make something that runs like that you can install with a simple installer, whether it's Windows, Mac, or Linux. And simple installer, so you install the program, you put the images, and you are already working on that without any extra trying to understand, okay, how to use this super complex tool. There will be a free version. There will be a free version with basic features that you can download. So if you want to stay up to date with this, I recommend to subscribe to the channel, to hit the bell, so you will be notified when new lives or new video will be released. And I will also make a video when the software is fully ready. I promise that this software will simplify a lot your process. And there will be a more advanced version. This will be a paid version that I will tell all the details later when it's available. Paid version for users, and I'm going to give this to the member of the AI Vision Academy full access for free. So if you are in the AI Vision Academy, you will be able to access the full version of this software. So stay tuned, because this is going to be something great. The way we are building software now is changing, and we can build more and more in a less amount of time. When the AI tool works, that's what we can achieve. Allow. This is a software that in 1 year ago I would never imagine to build. Not because it's not possible, but it will take me so many months to build it properly. And I would think that it wouldn't be worth the time, to be honest, unless you have a big company building such software, and then you expect to have thousands and thousands of customers, like companies' clients, that they have. You can afford to have certain rates. You can expect much higher sales from company, like on a monthly or annual rate that you will expect from developers. So only for a company will make sense to build such software 2-3 years ago. Now with the tools that we have, also a single developer can build this. And that's what I like of this. If you're a single developer, or if you are in a small team, or also if you're a single developer inside a company, you can bring so much value building such tools inside your own company. And everyone now has this chance to build this, which is amazing. Let's now try our software. Let's now make sure that everything is working. Let's try import tomatoes. So now we load the dataset here, and then we load the labels. And we got someone new in chat. Chat, if you're new here, tell me where are you writing from. We are here for a while trying to solve a bug problem with our annotation tool. Import, still I'm not able to import the annotations. I'm trying to make this as, let me try something else. So we have some problem here with the annotations. I want to bring the new annotation format. So let's import only the images, because otherwise we will not solve this problem. Let's close this. So now I'm trying to annotate this. I will do it like this. I remove the classes. Let's add tomato like this, and then let's put a few tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's also, of course, this is a very basic annotation. Now I'm missing also some of the objects. I want just to try make sure that it's working. So this tomato right here, I didn't get that one. There are no tomatoes here. I will just one here, and that's it. Let's now save the project. Save functionality coming soon, of course. Export dataset. We export this into YOLO format. Let's say on the desktop, create a new folder, tomato label. Let's select the folder. Export completed successfully. So if let's now check the format that we have of this export that we've just done. So from the desktop here, I go to tomato label. We have classes, tomato, that's great. Then we have labels. That should be okay with the name of the images, I believe. And then let's import. Let's close this. Now I'm going to load the image and see if we can load this dataset, if we can load this annotation. So we're going to import dataset, annotations only, images only, annotations both, YOLO format. We import first the images, select, and now we import the annotation. So tomato label, select folder, import 1000, nothing. It's not working regardless of the format of the annotation I'm giving. Let me try to remove the other classes to see if we solve this bug. This is such a basic stuff. This is such a basic thing that I was expecting to be done already in one question to the Copilot, but that's how it is. So we move fast certain times, and other times we move much slower because there is a bug. That's part of our job. Importing 0 images with 0 annotation. Tomato labels, class is added 1, class ID map. So it's not importing correctly the label. Now I have this structure. So I have labels, and then file1.txt, file2.txt. All these files should be associated to the one with the same file name from the images. So let's try fixing this. In the meantime, I'm checking LinkedIn. There is pretty much nothing going on LinkedIn. I will be curious, guys. Chat from YouTube this time. If you have any experience on how to make this more popular on LinkedIn, let me know. I haven't been posting on LinkedIn for a huge amount of time, and today I'm just live streaming all of a sudden. I mean, I scheduled this yesterday or the day before. No, I scheduled this already from Saturday, from today's morning. Or if you are live from LinkedIn, let me know in the chat. I'm very curious if anyone is watching from LinkedIn. In the meantime, some water. Okay, the importer should now work correctly for this structure. Okay, let's see. Let's see. This is going to be great if it will work. So let's import dataset. The dataset we have YOLO and both images and annotation. So we are going to load the images and then we're going to load the labels. Imported, not working. Labels. So I'm curious to see if they are matching. Now I wonder if there is something wrong with the annotations. Tomato and then labels. Can I find this? Okay, interesting here. I just changed some of the classes here. Doesn't work. Prepare some script, simple tool only for debugging this. So I want to debug this error. So exactly what you are trying to do with the annotations. Now it doesn't get the file somehow. Just a quick update. If you're new to the live, here we are debugging some problem with this tool. I'm building an annotation software completely from scratch. This is only episode 5 and I'm working 1 to 2 hours for each episode. You will find the other episodes in the lives, and only in this short time we've built these tools. We have already some good base where we can do the annotation, we can do the augmentation. If you don't know what augmentation is, chat, let me know. Just ask and I will refresh a bit also what is augmentation. And we can import the images. We have some very simple user interface, user experience now, but we have some problem now importing the annotation. So I'm working with a bug so far that's easy on paper. It's something very stupid, but it's taking so much time. So that's part of the work that, of course, as developers, part of the struggle, part of the game. Chat, let me know if you have experience with Copilot. Also, I'm happy with any suggestions here on how I can debug this. I know that many of you have so much experience with Copilot tools like Cloud Code and similar, Visual Studio with AI. Please run this and share the output. Okay, I need to run debug YOLO version 2. So let's run this. Okay, I need to debug tool example Python debug to parse the image folder in an input, not with command line. So I want to simplify here the steps. Keep this. I'll update this debug script to use a simple UI dialog for selecting folder and send CLI input. Exactly what I want. So let me stop everything here that we're running. Let's allow this. Let's try to solve this bug. That would be nice to get rid of this. So let's select the label, select labels with txt file, select folders, select images folders. Okay, also images, select folder. First 3 annotated images, images 895, total annotations 4,930. Somehow in this debug it's working. So in this debug it's finding the annotation. In this debug v2 is finding the annotations, but they are not working on the main software. So this debug gives me the idea that something is working here. Otherwise, we will not get what we got. When has class definition, okay, continue. Copilot is giving so many errors. Hope you reach your rate limit when it's not true. Continue. Unfortunately, also the Copilot has bugs, not only my program. So if they have it, why can't I have it? Right? Continue. I see another issue as class definitions true, still needs to call import annotation, but it does so at line 969. The logic is correct when YOLO. Okay, something is happening here, hopefully. Image contains a path like images. Keep all. I wanted also to add the training today, but since somehow due to this problem we went quite slow, I think that priorities are changing a little bit. So let's, my mistake. Okay, both. Let's try importing the images. So we want to import the annotations right here. Where are they? Let me find them. We have it here. Tomato on the hard drive. So first image folder and then labels. Select the labels. Imported 1790 images. Importing 0 images with 0 annotations and new class. let's my new attempt, change model. Let's change model. Let's try Gemini Pro, Gemini 3 Pro. There is some bug importing the annotations. It says, so if we import only YOLO, only annotations, we import labels, select folder, imported images like this. It says, and now I'm pasting the image. So I'm trying a new attempt to use the Gemini 3 Pro because Claude Opus is not able to debug this for me. So I'm curious if I can manage to fix this issue just by changing model. Otherwise, I can plan to restructure a bit the code. Main window. Chat, what's your favorite copilot? What's your favorite tool for vibe coding? I'm using GitHub Copilot. That's not because it's my favorite, or because that's the only one I'm mostly testing and using, because I like PyCharm. I've been always using PyCharm in the last like 10 years. And I will move out of PyCharm only if there is something very worth it for that. So far I haven't found anything. Unless, I mean, there is a lot of hype for many tools, but it seems like that every 2 weeks there is some new tool and it's the best that changed the game for everything, at least according to many YouTube titles and posts that you see around, which often might not be the case. So I see the Gemini 3 is pretty different the way it works here, the output that it gives. So I'm curious also how this problem will be handled now. The user region is applied. We see it's working quite intensive for us, Gemini 3 Pro. Let's keep all the changes. Let's allow this to run. Okay, let's import the dataset. YOLO format, import. Let's go, I pasted the images before, so let me take the tomato folder. So now we are importing it in the dataset images, and then label, select folder, imported 1790 images. Wow, imported 890 images with 4930 annotations in one class. I don't see the annotation. Okay, now I see it. Wow, I'm so happy. Finally, Gemini 3 solved the problem. This is for me quite a revelation, because now I will not stick very strictly to only one model. So with Claude Opus, I've been trying this for almost 1 hour, and getting nowhere, gave this to Gemini 3 Pro, and now it's working. Now we have the model. Can you imagine that? I've been almost 1 hour here with Claude, Gemini 3, one prompt, and it solved the problem. This is for me a new discovery. Chat, have you ever been did you have some wow moment like this, changing the model? So here, annotation, add, import annotation, fixed bug, import annotation. So commit and change, push the change. So now we have the annotations working, pretty interesting. Now I want to integrate the training. So we'll stick for a bit with Google Gemini 3 Pro, because this is working pretty well. So let's go and try now. Let's run the main file. We run the main file right here. The main, so if we import the dataset, let me import images, drag and drop like this. Let's see labels. Would be nice to drag and drop also the labels. Of course, labels, I cannot drag and drop it from the folder because I have to specify the format. So annotations only, YOLO, import. Let's select the labels, select folder. What's going on now? Okay, when I import them separately, they don't work. When I import them at once, they work. So something to debug here as well. Something to debug. So we import dataset. Let's try again. Both. We import YOLO, import. First we go with images, and then we select the labels. Images and labels, 1,790 images. I mean, the count is not correct, but now it doesn't matter. So imported. Okay, here there is no annotation somehow. We have what we want. We have annotation imported. Now, what if we, let's say we want to do model training? Model training here, of course, we have started training, but this training functionality will be implemented soon. Let's see if we have data augmentation, if everything will work correctly here. We can select output folder. We can select the type of the augmentation we want and the number of images that we want. So yeah, today we work mostly on the import part. I want to add some feature for the import. I'm just refreshing a bit for whoever is new here. Chat, if you're new here, whether you are from YouTube or LinkedIn, here we are building an annotation tool for developers, some software similar to RoboFlow. If you should be familiar with this software if you're working with computer vision. RoboFlow, CVAT, we have Make Sense, V7 Labs, Label Studio, something like this that can run locally. So I want this to be able to run locally on your machine, and to simplify and to speed up a lot the annotation and training process. So the idea is that you have this software, you install it on your machine with a simple X file, whether you have Windows, Linux or Mac, you will have a very simple installation. So in a few minutes you have the software. You upload your own images to this software. So this is the software I'm talking about. You upload your own images, and when you upload your own images, you can quickly go and annotate your own images. Not only, there will be automatic annotation, automated labeling. We will use some model, some algorithm to automate labeling locally. Again, this one locally. Augmentation, very simple augmentation. So you open here, you just click generate augmentations. What is this going to do? This is going to increase your data set. So if you have only 100 images, through the augmentation, you can get 10 times the images. So this will increase the accuracy of your model. How can we get so many images? Because it will add different type of augmentation. So if you have an image, it will rotate it, flip it horizontally, flip it vertically. It will change the brightness. There will be some zoom option. And for now, only this at the moment, because I haven't worked much on the augmentation yet on this tool. But then we'll add also more augmentation techniques later on. Now I want to improve a bit the importing. So importing is working. I want to be able to import the annotation dataset using drag and drop and drop. I will import YOLO format for now. So integrate this function, this. I will drag and drop the folder with the txt files. So let's try to implement the drag and drop to simplify the importing of the annotations. I see someone also now connected from LinkedIn. If you're from LinkedIn, welcome to the live. Read the file. And now I'm switching to Gemini 3 Pro. This is PyCharm. On PyCharm I have GitHub Copilot. So this is a simple plugin that I have here where I can choose different models. I've been working so far with Claude Opus 4.5 the entire time, which seemed like the best model to me. Today I was stuck with a simple, I would say, bug, but things were not working properly for like more than 1 hour. I couldn't solve the importing annotations into the software, and trying to address the problem from different angles. But the only way I was able to make this work now is to use Gemini 3 Pro, where somehow it solved some bug that Claude Opus couldn't solve. So this opened for me a new possibility to just try and experiment with different models instead of sticking with just one. Now I'm adding a new feature to drag and drop the annotation. So I can drag and drop the images here. So if I drag and drop here the folder of the images, it works so far, but it never worked with the labels. So now I'm drag and dropping also the labels. The folder labels appear to be a YOLO dataset contains txt file. Do you want to import this annotation? Let's say yes. Imported 0. When I drag and drop, it says imported 0 images. Class added 1. Somehow it doesn't associate the annotation to the image file when I drag and drop. You should associate the name from txt file to name of the image regarding of their folder. So I'm giving very specific instruction because I'm guessing that that's the problem. I'm thinking that it's loading the text files but doesn't know exactly doesn't associate probably the annotation with the specific image. So let's see if this way we can fix this. And another thing that I would like to add, now it's very basic software. Later I would like to integrate also some database so that the annotations not only are saved into the file different formats, but I want the annotations also to be saved into a database so that we have full control and full saving of the information into our tool, not only external files. Because external files creates more mess, to be honest, to play around with the external files, so it's important to fix that. Edited YOLO, so it's editing the YOLO.py. And if we solve this, I will be very happy as an achievement today. We are like 1.5 hours into the live. Consider that we had some technical issues and I had to slow down a bit in the beginning. Hi, Hamad from LinkedIn. Sergio, do you use Google AI Studio for AI Vision project? Do you think this good way to build project in AI Vision? Google AI Studio, I don't use Google AI Studio in general. Google AI Studio, let me see. So Google AI Studio to build AI applications. No, but I'm using now Gemini 3 Pro in this case, or Claude. So what I use PyCharm because I build apps in Python. Python is for me the best programming language to build very quickly. So if you want to build fast, and today it's important to be fast, Python for me is the best. I never use Google AI Studio, but to be honest, doesn't really. You should choose what you like the most. So there are so many tools, different IDEs. So the tools or the moment, the models don't really matter. I use PyCharm plus GitHub Copilot. This is my favorite so far, and I changed the model mostly. So if you see Hamad here, there is a list. There is a list of the models that I can use, and I can change model with just one click. If we use Google AI Studio, I believe you will need to stick only to Gemini 3 Pro. So for this, it's important I think to have a flexibility, especially now that the models are evolving so fast. I wouldn't want to stick to any specific of them. You can, so now let's try again if this is working. I hope this replies your question, Hamad. Like, what's your experience with Google AI Studio? I'm curious. Do you use that to build any type of applications? Let me know, I'm curious about that. So let's now import the dataset. We're in a stage where we want to import our dataset. And we have and I want to make this process very fast. So I'm creating the auto import like from drag and drop. So the folder labels appear to be a YOLO dataset, which is not working at all. So if we import it, let's try to import the dataset from here, YOLO, annotations only, import, tomato, labels, select folders, 0 images. Let's try now to run this and import it again from here. Okay, nice, thanks, great. Import dataset, both, YOLO, import. For anyone that's following now live the video, just to give you some reference, I'm streaming at least 3 times per week at the moment. You will see I'm going to schedule this in advance, so you will see when I'm streaming and also the topic, because I will be streaming in more different topics about computer vision. So if that's your goal, if you are looking to launch either your startup, create your own computer vision products, or if you work in a company, you want to implement anything that regards AI vision, then you will benefit a lot from this. I will be happy to have you in the live, and I'm happy to chat. I saw so far that it's a great learning experience for everyone, for you, for if you're new or if you have experience with the other members in the chat, and for me, because I'm learning a lot also from what you're bringing here. So the import here, apparently it's working when we import an image and annotations at the same time. The import works well when we have image, when we import we import images and annotations at the same time, but not when we import first the images and separately the annotations. Let's see if now Gemini 3 Pro is able to solve this problem. Otherwise, it will be interesting to try again switch into Claude Opus. Remain Windows. Drop your root dataset folder containing images and label subdirectories. Aha, okay, that's why. I think that I understood what it meant here. So now we can drag and drop the entire folder containing the subdirectories. So if, let me run it again. So if I do something like this, here, if instead of dataset I say tomato dataset, so detection, I bring only, so I drag and drop the folder tomato that has everything. So if I drag and drop this one like this, and I said, yes, tomato, confirm mapping, let's see. Imported 895 images. Pretty cool, okay. I think I'm spotting what's going on here. I'm asking probably too much. Keep the changes. So we solved the bug. We solved some bug that we had. Now I'm probably asking too much. Because what I'm asking now to this tool is because I want to have like the flexibility. I think it's very important to have this flexibility. So let's drag and drop tomato. So let's drag and drop first the images. We have the images. Let's now drag and drop the labels. Do we want to import the labels? Let's say yes. Imported 895 images with 4,900 something annotations. So even this one, it's working. So I'm pretty happy with the result we've got today. Let me save this. Fix. We say import annotations or drag and drop. Like this. Commit and push. Well, I wouldn't go further with the work today, so there was this bug to solve. We imported the annotation. After this, what are the next steps? So let me mention a bit about the next steps. If you're interested to follow this, if you're interested in this software, after the annotation, the next step will be to integrate the training. So around the next lives, we'll work on training integration with different models. And we'll test the training of the model. And this is all for this live chat. I will be live again soon. I'm going to notify scheduling this post. Most likely I will be live again tomorrow. So thank you for anyone that joined from YouTube and from LinkedIn. Okay, Hamad, before closing, let me read the last. I missed one message. I'm currently working on a computer vision-based system built using Google AI Studio that analyzes video streams from vehicle dash cameras to detect road defects such as potholes and surface damage. That's a very interesting. It's a very interesting project. Uh, I read something about that. It's also some member in the academy was working. The AI Vision Academy was working on something similar. I think that it's very interesting to experiment with like some industrial cameras or some camera that can get the depth to see what accuracy you can get with such software. So I see this very feasible to do with dash camera to get some understanding of the size. And if you want something more precise, to use some cameras like the depth cameras. I have some, let me see. Okay, I cannot find the other intelligence. Okay, they are both connected, the cameras. So I cannot show now the cameras. Okay, I have now one camera. So that cameras, you see it, that cameras like this one, for example, because you will see they can get the depth and the distance. So with such cameras, you can be also able to understand the depth in more details that you will get only from a single camera. Thank you everyone that joined. Thank you for watching. We'll be live again soon, most likely tomorrow. This is all for now, and see you in the next live.